welcome back to my channel, Travel with Ashton. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you are not already subscribed and you are enjoying my content, go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below and join our travel squad. So today I'm going to be starting a mini series on my channel about cruising. So if you guys have sailed on a cruise before, then you know how a cruise works and what you will need for a cruise. But for those of us that are new cruisers or even people that have cruised a lot, I just wanted to make a couple videos giving you some tips and tricks for your next cruise so that you are well aware. Now, this mini series on my channel is solely going to be focused on sailing with Carnival. Most of these tips and tricks can be applied to all cruises because they're basically kind of the same. Most of them, they give you either more or less perks, but I've been sailing with Carnival for years. I try to go on a cruise about 3 times a year, maybe more. And at this point, I've already made it up their VIFP tier. And if you have sailed with Carnival before, you know that once you cruise with them more often, you start to get more perks the higher up the tier you go. And I'm just a few cruises away from Platinum, so yeah. So today's video is going to be about what to pack for a cruise. So a lot of people go on a cruise and they're not really sure what to pack, or sometimes they overpack or underpack. So I've worked down a couple things that I think that you guys should remember for when you guys go on a cruise, and it will definitely help you. So we're gonna start off with the list of things that you guys absolutely need to pack for your cruise, or if you are a new cruiser, you definitely need this list, or if you've been cruising for a long time, sometimes you just don't realize of some of the things that you might need. So the first thing you're gonna have to pack is your passport or your birth certificate. Please do not forget this, especially if you are a new cruiser your first time. Some people don't realize how important this is. This is the first thing that I put into my suitcase when I'm packing for my cruise, because if you forget your passport or your birth certificate, honey, you are not going on nobody's cruise. Okay, so please do not forget your birth certificate or your passport. And if you're a first-time cruiser, you should know by now, if you have already booked for your cruise, you don't necessarily need a passport. It is definitely obviously a great thing to have when you're going out of the country. However, you can sail with your birth certificate, so just make sure you guys pack that first. I've seen many people get left behind on a cruise because they forgot their birth certificate or forgot their passport at home, so definitely pack that first. That also goes for your driver's license. Your driver's license you will need, especially if you're bringing your birth certificate, you will need a picture ID as well, so do not forget your driver's license. They will ask for it at the port. So the next thing I have on my list are a pair of slippers. I know that sounds cliche, or it sounds like, oh duh, why wouldn't I bring slippers? But sometimes people forget. You want to definitely bring a pair of slippers or a pair of flip-flops, some pairs of shoes that you can just throw on in the morning time if you just need to go to breakfast, or if you're just heading down by the pool, or even just to walk around in your room with. You don't always want to bring, you know, shoes that are going to be uncomfortable. You want something that you can easily throw on and go in the event that you just need to run downstairs or run upstairs or run somewhere really quickly. So don't forget a pair of slippers, in-room slippers, like the little, you know, like house slippers, or like some flip-flops or something. Next, you're definitely gonna need an ID holder. So if you have sailed on a cruise before, you know that most ships, I can't think of any ships that actually do take cash, but mostly all of the cruise ship lines don't take cash. It is a card only ship. So you'll get something that looks like one of these cards. They are what you call like a sail and sign card is what it's called on Carnival. And you get one of these cards, and it's pretty much like a everything card. It's your key card to get into your room. It's your credit card to buy stuff on the ship. It's the card that you use to get on and off the ship for identification. So it's used for everything on the ship, so you will have to bring it with you everywhere. So we really recommend that you get like some kind of, you can get like those ID holders that you can put the card in, and sometimes they have that little drawstring on it, or you can get like one of these like keychain things, and it has the little, you know, holder on the end, because most of the cards they have like this little hole punch in them, and you can just wear it around your neck, or you can clip it to your clothes. They do sell them on the ship. They'll sell them at port. They'll sell them pretty much everywhere before you get on the ship and on the ship, but obviously it's going to be more expensive, but you can really just go on Amazon and get them for like a couple bucks, even cheaper than that. I've even seen them at the dollar store. So grab you one of those before you go on a trip so you don't have to spend any money trying to get one of those. It's not a good idea to put it in like your pocket because it can easily get lost. So, or if you have like if you have a cell phone that has one of those like card holders in the back, that'll be perfect too, because most people will bring their phones around with them. So next, don't forget your essentials. This might sound a little silly, but a lot of people forget them. I'm talking about your shampoo, your conditioner, body wash, toothbrush, toothpaste, etc. The rooms do have like shampoo and body wash in the showers, but they're not that good. So make sure you bring your own, honey, and just don't forget your essentials. Again, like I said, they do sell them on the ship. They do have like a little convenience store, but it's going to be at super high prices and not the brand that you like if you have a specific type of brand that you like to use for your essentials. So don't forget those essentials. It's not like a hotel where you go to and they'll have like all your little soaps, or you can call downstairs and get a free toothbrush. It's not like that. So don't forget your essentials. Next, bring lots of swimsuits. That goes for men, women. Bring lots of swimsuits. If you plan on swimming, they have the pools, they have the hot tubs, they have water slides, especially if you're going to be going to the beach. Bring lots of swimsuits. And because there's not really a lot of places for you to dry your swimsuits, so say for example you went to the pool earlier in the day and you wore a swimsuit, and then later on you went to go in the hot tub and didn't want to wear the same swimsuit, or if your swimsuit is still wet from earlier, you're probably not going to want to put it back on. So bring multiple swimsuits. There's not really somewhere, like I said, for you to dry, especially if you're in an inside room where you don't have like a balcony where some air is coming in for you to dry your clothes a little bit faster. Definitely bring a lot of swimsuits. In your shower, little tip, there is a clothesline that you can pull out in the corner of your shower, and it hooks onto the end of the shower where you can lay your swimsuits on. So a lot of people don't know that. So check in your shower, and there is a clothesline where you can actually hang your swimsuits from, or any wet clothes, period. But like I said, it doesn't dry as fast as if you were at home and can pop it in a dryer or hang it outside or something like that. So you want to bring a lot of backups. Next up, you want to bring some kind of bottle. So on the ship, you'll be walking around. You want to make sure you stay hydrated because it's going to be really, really hot for wherever you're going, really. Especially if you're going to the Caribbean, or if you're going to a really hot vacation spot, you want to make sure that you are always staying hydrated. So bring like a bottle that you can refill. When you go get something to drink, it's not suggested that you use your bottle to fill up with. Use a cup and then pour it in your bottle, because it's unsanitary for you to put your bottle onto the thing that the drinks come out of. So don't do that, but make sure you bring a bottle that you can carry around with you so you can always stay hydrated with water. You can bring like a bottle, something like this where you can fill up, or even one of those I don't know what they call these bottles, but the ones that keep like your drinks cold for a long time. So just bring something like that, or especially for when you get off the ship and you're going to be walking around, and if you're doing excursions or just touring the island, you want to make sure you keep yourself hydrated, and you can always have something to drink while you're walking. Next up, you want to bring cash. That might sound a little silly, but a lot of people don't bring cash. You want to make sure you bring cash, because you will need cash all throughout your trip. Even though the boat itself is cashless, you will need cash even from the time that you actually arrive to port, because they will be taking your bags from you, and you will need to tip the person that is helping you take your bags. I mean, obviously you don't have to, but it will be common courtesy to go ahead and tip that person. And you'll need same thing for when you get off the ship. You might be taking a little tour around the island. You can tip people, or they have like little kiosks where you can buy things all throughout some of the islands that you go to. You don't want to keep swiping your card, especially when it's in another country. So you always want to have some cash on hand for that. And at the end of your cruise, if you want to tip extra to like your bartender or your waiter, your waitress, your steward, etc., you want to have some cash to do that. They do have an ATM on the ship. However, it is a very high rate. I believe it's like $5 or $6 just to get cash out. So if you don't want to have to do that, definitely bring some cash with you so that you're able to just have some cash on hand. So next up are clothes. You probably already know what kind of clothes you want to wear on a cruise, obviously, but some people don't really understand what it's like when you go on a cruise. You don't need to bring a bunch of uncomfortable clothes as if you're going to like a vacation, you're going to be partying or going out all the time. It's, you know, like if you flew somewhere. Going on a cruise is a little bit different. You want to make sure you're always comfortable. You're going to be walking a lot on the ship. These ships are really, really big if you've never been on one. Obviously, you're going to be in the hot sun. You bring shorts, bring tank tops, bring loose clothing, something that you're always going to feel comfortable in. Definitely, obviously, still bring clothes for dinner, and especially if you're going to get off the island, if you want to take photos, stuff like that. But try to make sure you pack a lot of comfortable clothes. The first time I took a cruise, I packed like, I thought everything in my closet and it like jeans and all this stuff, and I ended up wearing like the same thing my entire cruise. So just keep that in mind. And also, if you're going on a cruise, I believe it's 5 days or more now, that there will always be a captain's night. And captain's night just means like an elegant night where everybody dresses up and you can meet the captain if you'd like. So you want to bring a dressy outfit for that. You don't want to show up to elegant night in like regular clothes. Just, you know, it's part of the theme. So bring, if you want to be a part of captain's night, bring something really nice to wear. They take really nice photos, like a really nice dress if you're going to a really nice dinner party. So next up, you want to bring sneakers. I've seen this. A lot of people will bring just flip-flops or just sandals and forget about bringing a pair of sneakers. But if you plan to do some sort of excursion that requires you to walk a lot or requires you to be doing something like, you know, very strenuous or adventurous, you want to make sure you bring a pair of sneakers. For example, like when we go and we go on cruises, sometimes we do like the ATV excursion, we do ATV riding, and you definitely need a pair of sneakers for that. Not only do you need a pair of sneakers, you need a headscarf because your hair will get all dirt in it and everything. You need a pair of gloves because when you're riding on those ATVs, it can really irritate your hands. So I noticed that. So there's some things you want to remember. Make sure if you are doing an excursion, read through exactly what it is you're going to be doing, and just use your, you know, best knowledge to say, what would I need to make sure that I'm comfortable during this excursion. You don't want to be uncomfortable, and especially if you're going to be walking a lot, you can get blisters and stuff like that. So make sure you bring the proper foot attire for some of these excursions and clothing. Next up, if you are, well, I shouldn't say if you are seasick, because if you are a first timer on a cruise, you might not know that you are seasick. The first time I took a cruise, I didn't know that I would be seasick, and it was horrible. Like the first couple days, I was sick. I was like throwing up, and I didn't really understand until I realized I'm seasick. And then I went down to the front desk, and they actually gave me some seasick pills. And then you can also buy some in the convenience store, but like I said, it is going to be super pricey for you to buy that there, and it might not be the one that you actually want. Those type of things sell out like the first day of the cruise, because a lot of people that are on there for their first time don't realize that they actually do get seasick. So if you're not sure, just go ahead and buy some, and obviously if you are sure, don't forget to bring it. They have everything. I always take Dramamine, which is like these little tablets. You can get them from Walmart, Target, anywhere that or any, you know, local pharmacy, and I can take one and be fine for the rest of the day. So it kind of just depends on which one works best for your body. They also have like the bracelet. They have the patches that you can put behind your ears. So there's so many different kinds. So just look at, you know, do some research and figure out which one would be the best for you. But don't forget it, because you'll be miserable on your trip if you don't bring some seasick medicine. So next up, you want to bring some sort of waterproof phone case, or if you have a camera, you want to bring a waterproof case for your camera. I know a lot of people use like GoPros now, so you don't really have to worry about that. But like if you're going to be bringing your phone around on the ship, definitely bring a waterproof camera, especially if you're going to be down by the pool, if you're going to be down by the hot tubs. Just bring a waterproof case. You can get those super cheap, like I said, on Amazon, or, you know, at your local store like Walmart or something like that. And then you can have them, especially if you're going down to the beach and you like to take photos. You don't want to, you know, ruin your trip messing up your phone. That's not fun. No. Next, you want to bring some sort of tote bag or a beach bag or book bag, something around that. So if you're going to the beach, you definitely want to bring a beach bag, because obviously you're going to be going to the beach. You want to bring some towels that you bring from the ship, or if you brought your own personal towels, or if you your little knickknacks, you want to have a beach bag that you can bring down so you don't have to carry so much things in your hand. But even if you're not going to the beach, you want to bring some sort of a bag, because if you're going to the island and you plan on doing shopping, you want to be comfortable, so that way if you're buying things, you could just be putting them in your bag and not have to like be carrying all these plastic bags full of stuff. So definitely bring some sort of like backpack or small bag for you to bring. And that also, you can also bring, like, if you plan on buying a lot of souvenirs, especially if you flew in, roll up an extra duffel bag or something like that in your suitcase, because sometimes you don't even realize how much stuff you might actually buy while you're on vacation. A lot of the things on the islands are super affordable, or especially if you're on a ship and you want to buy like alcohol, you want to obviously have an extra bag for when you are flying. So roll up an extra bag in your bag, that way you can bring home a lot of souvenirs. Next I have on my list is sunscreen. Do not forget your sunscreen, because you will be out in the sun all day, unless you plan on just staying indoors. But if you're going out on the island, or if you're just going out on the deck of the ship, it is just hot and sunny, and you are in the middle of the ocean where the sun rays are just coming down on you. So do not forget your sunscreen. Again, like I said, you can purchase it on the ship, but you are looking at, I don't even know how many dollars, but a lot of dollars that you wouldn't spend on sunscreen back home. So yeah. And next, make sure you bring a light sweater or a light jacket. Now, it could be the middle of August and you are going on a cruise to the Caribbean. You think it's gonna be so hot, I don't need no jacket. No, you need a jacket. And mainly because at nighttime, maybe not so much in August, but it does get chilly when you're in the middle of the ocean. It gets chilly if you're walking out on the decks, but also indoors, they blast the AC like crazy on those ships. And obviously, you know, for health reasons and to keep people cool, but a lot of times you'll go to like the comedy shows, or you'll go to some of the bars there, and they'll be really running the AC really high. So if you don't like being in AC for a long time, or if you get really chilly easily, make sure you bring a jacket, something you could just throw on and just have so that you can keep yourself warm, even if it's, like I said, you know, a little sweater or something like that. But definitely don't forget to bring one just in case. Next up, bring a portable hand sanitizer. You are on a ship with thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people, okay? So make sure you are being as clean as possible. The ships themselves are super clean. I've never had an issue where I felt like the ships were dirty or, you know, unclean. They do a really amazing job of keeping those ships clean. They're always cleaning up. Like I said, they're always cleaning your room. They're always cleaning the public areas. However, just make sure you are always keeping your hands clean, especially if you are eating in the buffet and you're reaching for like the tongs to pick food and stuff like that, and then you're gonna go and eat your food with your hands. A lot of different people are touching that. They do, like I said, they do clean them and stuff like that, but make sure you're doing your part in keeping your hands clean. And they also have hand sanitizer everywhere throughout the ship, as well as hand washing stations. But just make sure you have just some for yourself, so that way you never feel like you're, you know, unclean, or especially when you go off in the island and, you know, there's not really somewhere for you to wash your hands right away. You want to have some hand sanitizer. And I think that's really just in life. You should always have hand sanitizer. Like, next, you want to bring a plastic bag for your dirty clothes. So they do have a laundry on board, but obviously you have to pay for it. So if you don't want to pay for laundry and you know bought enough clothes where you can just keep switching out your clothes, bring a plastic bag or a laundry bag that you can put your dirty clothes in, because sometimes people don't think about that. And then when you're packing up your suitcase again, you don't want to have to throw your dirty clothes on top of your clean clothes, or vice versa. So bring some sort of plastic bag or laundry bag to put your dirty clothes in. Next up, sunglasses. And lastly, I have bring a carry-on bag. I know I mentioned before that you should bring like a book bag or like a beach bag or something like that, but your first day of your cruise, make sure you pack a carry-on bag. And this just means it could be like a small book bag or a purse or a fanny pack, something like that, to keep your personals in, like whether it's your medicine or your passport, your documents, your money, whatever. Make sure you bring that, because on the first day of your cruise, they will take your bags from you and they won't deliver them to your room until later. And I've seen sometimes where people don't get their bags until around dinner time. So if whatever you might need between you checking in and then you getting your bag, just bring it with you in a little carry-on bag that first day. So the last couple things are not necessarily things you need to pack, but it's just some tips that if you'd like to pack, you can. So I did put soda on here. I don't know about all of the other cruise lines, but on Carnival you can bring 1 case of soda, which is like 12 cans of soda. On the ship, if you're not familiar, you only get water, lemonade, and iced tea throughout the day. Unless it's breakfast, and they do offer a few extra selections, but throughout the day those are the only drinks you get that are free of charge. Everything else you do have to pay for. So if you have a preference, like I always like to bring a case of ginger ale. You bring some sodas that you can keep in your room. Most rooms do have like little coolers where you can keep your drinks in. Also, you can bring 2 bottles of wine per person on the cruise. So if you don't drink a lot, but you like to have a drink here and there, bring your own bottle of wine from home, and you can have that on the ship. You can obviously have your wine at any time you like, but if you'd like to bring your wine to dinner time, they do charge a fee for you to have your wine at the table, for them to open it and, etc. Also, same thing with water. You can bring a case of water as well on the Carnival ships. And same thing, like I said, you have water throughout the day, but it is the water that comes out of the machine. It is filtered, but some people like a specific bottled water. So if you like specific bottled water and you don't want to have to pay for it, because you will have to pay for it, go ahead and bring you your own case of water that you can keep in your room. And lastly, snacks. I know that sounds a little bit weird because there's food on the ship, but if you like specific snacks, like if you like your Cheetos and you like your Pringles or whatever, like you like a late night snacker, bring some snacks in your luggage that you can snack on in the room. Like the cruise, they do have snacks, but their version of snacks means like cookies and cupcakes and donuts and stuff like that. But if you like specific candy, or if you like, different types of chips, just bring a couple bags in your suitcase that you can have late at night if you don't feel like leaving your room or something like that, and you can just have your snacks. So those are all the things I have for you guys today that I feel like you need to consider when you are packing for your cruise. Obviously, you don't have to have all of them. They do apply to different situations and different people. However, I do think that these are necessary things that you don't want to forget on your next cruise. So thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for the next series. We're going to be talking about what to do on a cruise with kids, what to do on a cruise with adults, what type of food cruises have. So there's going to be lots and lots of videos related to cruises. So if you guys are interested in watching those videos, like I said, please subscribe to my channel so that and turn on your notification bell so that you can get notified as soon as I upload a video. So again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.